Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Reverend Cassandra Rae, Spiritual Director of the Center for Spiritual Living White Rock. And I'm just pausing right here in this moment as I welcome you into my heart, as it fills up with gratitude for your presence. We are an inclusive learning center of practical spirituality based in the greater Vancouver, Lower Mainland area of British Columbia, Canada. And we practice and teach tools for transformation, authentic self expression, and conscious living. And wherever you are on your path, whether you're struggling or soaring, I am so glad that you are here. And as we begin our gathering, I respectfully acknowledge that I live and work on the traditional and unceded territories of the Coast Salish First Nations, including Coquitlam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Stalo nations. As an Indigenous woman, I believe that it is important to acknowledge the Indigenous native lands that we live on and recognizing not only the rich culture and history, but also the current connection to Native peoples and to the land, and how Indigenous consciousness is vital in healing our relationship with the world and with each other. So I am so grateful to be on this land. So now let us ground our time together in truth and spirit. I invite you to turn within and taking a breath and settling in to this sacred moment right here and now, where the spirit, the source of all life, is unfolding, knowing that this source is absolute, unconditional, pure love, deep wisdom. I recognize that there is a wholeness and harmony that is in back of everyone and everything, and that it is unfolding into this beautiful day, into this very experience. So I take a moment to recognize my oneness with spirit, that it is who and what I am. I am spirit made manifest. And as I recognize that oneness, that divine connection, I claim, affirm, and know that each one here is absolutely a sacred expression of the divine. I affirm that each one of us is blessed by this time together, that there is a softening in the heart, an opening in the mind, and that there is something that is said or sung that lifts each one of us up into our greatest yet to be. Oh, the beauty that exists at the center of each one here, the absolute beauty. And so I affirm that this time together reveals that beauty, that it heals any pain, and that it lifts each one of us up into a vibration of hope, of joy, of connection, where there is space for the entire human heart, and that each one of us begins to know our divinity at a new and deeper level. Oh, the power and the beauty and the grace that is here right now in each one. I give such profound thanks for this opportunity to be in community. I'm so grateful that we are always connected in spirit, that none of us is ever alone. I'm so grateful for the health and wholeness that is expressed this day, knowing that the blessings abound, that they are happening now and that they continue all week. I bless this time together. I bless each one here, releasing this prayer into that divine law of mind. I step into its perfect unfoldment, letting it have me. And so it is. Mm. I'm excited to introduce our musician today. I really love it when Ivan Boudreau is here. He is a professional musician, songwriter, and wandering minstrel for over 45 years. I know, I can't believe it either. With deep roots in Nova Scotia, his youthful years in Boston and Toronto, now calling British Columbia home. How lucky are we? He has a driving passion for stories and songs that are honest and heartfelt. And he says, music and songs keep me alive. Yes, Ivan is giving us life today too. Please join me in welcoming Ivan Boudreau.
Thanks, Cassandra. And it's true, especially in this time that we've been going through. So, this is a song that was written 2 years ago with a group of 6 of us, which never really happens, but we put it all together. I overheard a conversation at the table next to me. This couple sold their home and bought a boat and were sailing out to sea. I envied them their freedom, wish that I could do that too. Could I cross the world to find it, like my spirit wants to do? When I look at the horizon, as far as these eyes can see, I know there's much more out there just waiting for me. Like the ocean never changing, it rises then it falls. We're only given this one short life, and I want to see it all. Is there really ice in Iceland? Do the bulls still run in Spain? Should I hike the Scottish Highlands or ride the Silk Road train? When I look at the horizon, as far as these eyes can see, I know there's much more out there just waiting for me. Like the ocean never changing, it rises then it falls. We're only given this one short life, I want to see it all. No one knows about tomorrow, don't know how much time we've got. Until then, I'll do my best as far as these eyes can see. I know there's much more out there just waiting for me. Like the ocean ever changing, rises then it falls. We're only given this one short life, and I wanna see it all.
Whew. Just feeling so grateful to be in community with you today, right now. Um, I don't think any of us imagined that we would be here right now, at this date and time, and yet here we are. Here we are. You know, when you listen to and follow the inner guidance of your purpose, your soul, and spirit within you, you are calling for the winds of change. Now, many of us think of change as bad, difficult, scary, anxiety producing, or, all of the above. But allowing the highest vision of your life to unfold into your experience requires change. And the highest vision of your life can unfold no matter the circumstances of this world. So today, we are going to demystify change, and it all starts in Geneva, Switzerland. What? Reverend Beth Lingery is an ordained minister, educator, psychologist, and metaphysician, and currently serves as the spiritual director of the Center for Spiritual Living, Geneva. And she says, on Lake Leman near Geneva in Switzerland, situated between the Alps and the Jura Mountains, there are more than 70 different winds. 70 winds. On the days when there is very little wind, sailors scan the becalmed lake looking for any ripples on the water. And when located, the skipper changes direction and heads toward the disturbances to find the wind that is blowing there. The sails fill up and the boat receives the power to sail quickly toward its destination. Those who are most successful in locating disturbances on the water reach their destination and complete the race. They have embraced the changing winds. Mm, imagine that. Imagine seeking the winds of change in order to propel you where you want to go. So when you listen to your inner guidance, you will be guided into new territory. And last week, we talked about choosing the path less traveled. And when you choose the path that's calling to you, not by, outer expectations, but by inner resonance, curiosity, and excitement, you will be called to change. And not because you need to be different, but because your soul is calling you to express more of who you already are. I've changed so much. And I think about who I was when I married my husband, Will, and who I am now. And we celebrate our 17th wedding anniversary next month. But it's hard to even recognize myself. When I met Will, I was a tax accountant working really hard to fulfill everyone's expectations of success without understanding my heart and soul. And being a tax accountant wasn't wrong. In fact, I was good at it. But being a speaker, teacher, and writer aligns more with my purpose. And it brings me more fulfillment. It utilizes more of my gifts and talents. So, listening to my inner guidance, I made the journey from tax accountant to life coach to therapist and case manager to licensed spiritual practitioner and ultimately now to minister. I wouldn't be here now with you in CSL White Rock if I hadn't embraced the changing winds and adjusted my trajectory into new and unknown territory. And on one level, it would have been safer for me to remain a tax accountant with a large firm. But what would have happened to those seeds of purpose planted within me if I had remained a tax accountant? Each one of us is called to live forward, and you get to choose what that means for you. So Reverend Beth Linguri writes, as you consciously poise yourself in the realization that you live in pure spirit, new power will be born within you. If you find yourself, you will find yourself renewed by the divine life, led by divine intelligence, and guarded by divine love. Yeah. Here is how we find the ripples on the water and move toward our divine momentum. So, first, you consciously poise yourself in the realization that you live in pure spirit. What does that mean? How do you consciously poise yourself in pure spirit? Well, guess what? You already live in pure spirit. You're already there. The key here is to realize it. And to realize is to understand clearly, to make real, and to give reality to. That's the dictionary definition. I love the dictionary. So when you bring your attention to living in pure spirit, you make it real. Your conscious attention gives reality to it. And Ernest Holmes writes in this thing called You on page 61. Let me find it. The consciousness that God is in and through everything will enable you better to see perfection and harmony in people and affairs. Know that the Spirit is right where you are. It is the very essence of your being. It is at the center as well as the circumference of your life. Learn to sense this divine presence in every thought and act. You live in pure spirit. The presence and power of the divine, of the universe, of this great mystery lives inside of you and all around you. And this takes us right into the second way we find the ripples in the water to help us live forward. As you consciously poise yourself in the realization that you live in pure spirit, new power will be born within you. Yes. Who wants new power? Yes, I do. All right. So, how do you want to shift and change? we tend to go to the specifics, like, and let me see if you can relate to this. How about, I want to be safe to leave my house without a mask. Yeah, I want that. And if that were the case, then what would you be experiencing? Safety, health, immunity, freedom, right? Those are the things you would experience. Okay, I want to gather safely with my friends and family. Now, what would I be experiencing if I did that? Connection, joy, fun, friendship. So when we pray or affirm the qualities we want to experience, it requires us to stop focusing on what we don't have and to start feeling what we want. What if you could experience safety, health, immunity, and freedom while still wearing a mask? Would you be up for that? What if you could experience connection, joy, fun, and friendship while still social distancing? See, we got to use our creative power, not so that things will happen to us, but so that we will become and embody these qualities. You experience them because they are expressed in you, as you, through you, and a new power rises up. So Ernest Holmes writes back in this thing called You on page 76. Let me find it. Divine power exists everywhere and takes form for you through your ideas, your faith. You neither create this energy nor hold it in place. All that your faith does is form a mold through which it may take a temporary form. So this past week, I woke up in the middle of the night with this thought that all the power there is right here. There isn't more or less power in any place in the universe. So all the power there is right where you are right now. The power and presence of the divine is everywhere present in equal measure. So imagine that the power you want to change something in your life or in the world was in the room with you right now. Maybe it's sitting on a chair or lying on the bed or just hanging out, waiting to be put into action, waiting to fill the sails to move your vessel where you want to go. Your thoughts, ideas, imagination, dreams, and desires form a mold through which divine power can take form. You must be willing to look beyond the current circumstances to see what's possible. Focus on the qualities you want to experience and do your best to stay there. Put that mask on and imagine you are just as happy with the mask as you were without it. And when you slip into worry, fear, or blame, gently shift your focus back on what you want. In fact, maybe, especially if you struggle with putting a mask on, like some of us do, maybe use putting the mask on as your spiritual practice. Releasing what you don't want and focusing on what you do want. And now we all need this sometimes. So I want to just channel a little bit of divine love for you right now. When you slip into worry or heartbreak or anxiety, take a breath. Hold your elbows. Hold your elbows. Take a breath, hold your elbows, and listen to what divine love has to say. Imagine this is divine love speaking directly to you. It's okay, dear one. You don't have to worry. It makes sense that you're afraid, but I'm here. Infinite possibility has not diminished. All the power and the possibility of the universe is here, and it is for you. Remember that blaming others or yourself is only a defense mechanism. Even when it's legitimately someone's human fault, blame doesn't get you where you want to go. Complaining is not going to get you there. Just remember, I love you unconditionally. You are valued beyond measure. I want you to experience all the good in the universe. And I am here with you at every step of the way. Keep yourself safe. Keep others safe. Because that divine purpose within you is just as strong as ever. Taking a moment to take it in, really let it soothe you. As humans, it's not always easy to stay focused on what you want to experience. Out of habit, it can be easier to focus on what's missing or what's wrong. But your focus and your faith forms a mold for divine power to take form. You know, we call this a mental equivalent. And oh, by the way, Reverend Champion's teaching a class called Mental Equivalence starting on Thursday, this Thursday. If this talk resonates with you, I hope you'll consider taking their class and delving deeper, because when you do, you will find yourself renewed by the divine life, led by divine intelligence, and guarded by divine love. As you ground yourself in the realization that you live in pure spirit, pure potentiality, a new power rises up. You're steady, balanced, unwavering, and confidently focused on what you want to experience. New opportunities show up. New people come into your life. Old stories of limitation fall away. New doors of self-worth, self-compassion, and confidence open up. Past habits no longer work, and synchronicities abound all around you as you live into new life led by divine intelligence, fueled by divine love. This divine intelligence comes through your intelligence. This divine love comes through your love. This divine energy comes through your body. And as you look for the ripples on the water, so that you can tap into that divine momentum for your life, you realize that you are the wind rippling the water, that you've been the wind all along. let us be the winds of change together as we rise up to create the world we want to experience. And so it is. Inviting you to turn within and to feel that loving presence of the divine rise up in your heart. The unconditional love of spirit is right here, unfolding in this very moment. and recognizing that that movement of love sometimes shakes up our life, blows the winds of change. And yet I recognize that that shift, that ripple, that it is always divine love wanting to know itself as each and every one of us. And so in this moment, I align myself with divine love. I align myself with the power and presence of the divine in me, knowing that each and every one listening right now is an absolute sacred blessing, blessed being that is here on divine purpose, in divine timing. I know that each one of us is guided perfectly this week, that each one of us sees those ripples and we approach them with love, with compassion, with courage, knowing that this great power within rises up to meet each one of us wherever we're at. Yes, yes. This great power and presence is not limited by anyone or anything. And so I just give thanks for the miracles that happened this week. I give thanks for the love that is felt. I give thanks for the new possibilities that make themselves clear. And I am grateful for health and healing, for safety, for immunity. I am grateful for communities coming together to keep each other safe. I am grateful that the Spirit fills each one of us up, giving us strength to carry on, knowing that we are approaching a greater experience and expansion of love. I release this prayer into that divine law of mind, which has already said yes. I too say yes to this new experience of love and power, letting it be. And so it is.